Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Researching Stocks. And today we're going to look at Esports Technologies Incorporated, also known as EBET. So, what does Esports Technologies Incorporated do? They are a company that is capitalizing on the growth in esports, and they're bringing esports betting to the masses. So, basically, esports is a category of sports that is related to gaming. So, electronic, and then the sports. Esports is much bigger than you've ever realized, and today I'm going to dive into researching the company, researching the industry, and I'm going to be explaining why I am all in on this stock. So, without further ado, let's begin. So, the first thing I want to emphasize here on this company, Esports Technologies, EBET, is that they are a fairly new company that has not been trading for a long time. So, just really quickly here, I'm going to be typing in the name of the company, and we're going to see that it started trading on April 15th, and ever since its IPO, it's been down 38%, but it kind of found its footing. So when a company starts strong after their IPO day, sometimes it has to do with some people just, very excited about the company, and they just want to get a position in, and then after the excitement, they actually do some fundamental research, and in the end, the market finds a way to find the right price. Well, in most cases, and Esports Technologies Inc. has been trading around the same area for the past month and a half, which makes me kind of excited because it means that there is some kind of price that everybody agrees on that the company should be on. So I'm very excited about that. Why do I think that esports is going to go higher is something that we're going to be talking about in relation to other stocks. And let's take a look really quickly on how other gaming stocks do in general and have did in general in the past few months and years. So just quickly going to be typing in here 2K game stock. And let's see, it's TTWO stock. Okay. And in the past year, you can see that this gaming stock has been up 39%. Let's look at the EA Sports stock. And you can see in the past year, it has been up 21%. And let's look at the Blizzard stock, which is Blizzard Entertainment, and it has also been up around 36%. So you can see that gaming is currently in an uptrend in general, and Esports Technologies is a company that is going to succeed or die based on the popularity of gaming. If gaming is not going to be popular, the company can't make it in the long run. So I want to jump into their investor relations deck. Now, if you've watched the first episode of Researching Stocks, you know by now that these presentations can be filled with a bunch of data, and not everything we should or we can cover on time. So I'm going to be downloading this PDF, and let's go through it. Let's see what we have here. Okay, NASDAQ IPO presentation. And cautionary statement concerning statement about free riding. Okay, so the company gave out 2 million shares, and common stock outstanding immediately after the offering, 18 million shares. And okay, so the offering price was around $4.50 to $5 per share. So the company is already trading way above what they estimated their worth, meaning that the street actually thinks that this company undersold itself. So they left a lot of money on the table, which is not ideal, but they can go for a secondary round. So if they do go for a secondary round, I think that they're going to have enough cash on hand to continue to grow the company, which is always a good thing. So moving on, let's see. Not the most famous lead underwriters, and I do not know who they are, so not like a big name bank. Okay, and their mission statement is to define, shape, and drive growth of the current and future esports wagering ecosystem by providing advanced products, platform, and marketing solutions directly to service providers and customers. Okay, so real money wager operation. Over 60,000 signups from over a dozen countries. The company generated 10 million in gross gaming wagers last year, with traditional sports shut down due to the pandemic. So this is very important. You have to read the language. They generated 10 million in gross gaming wagers. That is not their income. Very important. That's the amount of betting that was created on the platform. So this is a very, very new kind of area, very new industry. What is the total addressable market? I'm not sure, but 10 million in gross gaming wagers is interesting, and these things can catch fire very easily. It's a very, very early stage of the game. With traditional sports shut down due to the pandemic, strong organic growth is driving user registrations, keeping the marketing spend low. This has allowed us to gain 60,000 new customer signups with virtually no marketing spend. Okay. With esports seeing rapid growth, Esports Technologies Inc. expects to continue to build out a strong technology platform to enhance users' experience and offerings. Additionally, the company expects to be actively seeking acquisitions. So one of the more interesting things is that esports is filled with a lot of companies, and these companies sometimes don't really reach scale, but they develop a lot of cool tech. Now, if you're developing a lot of cool tech but you're not reaching scale, you might be bought out at some point if you run out of cash, or you're just kind of understanding that your total addressable market isn't that big, and it's better to get acquired at an early stage in order to reach the growth faster and just to kind of close the loop on whatever you build. So just kind of to explain the last line, they're looking to buy companies in the space that have not made it big and might complement the current offerings that this company has. So a bit of the team, well, you guys can read. I personally have never heard of any one of the team members before kind of, I would say, hearing about the company. But once I started digging in, I'm a huge StarCraft fan, and when Aaron speech here, it says that he's a top 100 ranked StarCraft player. I must admit, it kind of caught my eye. And I think that, in the end of the day, when it comes to a company like this, I don't think that somebody with a lot of experience can make here a difference. This is such a new world. And if they do have a strong or not strong management team, it's really up to how you define a strong management team. Their market cap size is under $300 million. This might be a very strong team in compared to the size of the market cap. So take that into account. Okay. Gonna continue on. Not gonna go over the board members. Esports market, what is it? I kind of talked to you about it, but I'm just gonna kind of read this really fast. It describes the world of competitive organized video gaming. Competitors from different leagues or teams face off in the same game that are popular with at-home gamers. Fortnite, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Overwatch, and Madden are a couple. I'm going to add a couple more. You have NBA 2K, you have FIFA, you have StarCraft. There are a lot of competitive games. So why it matters. The global video game market is forecast to be worth $159 billion in 2020, around 4 times box office revenues. So yeah, this is something really important to kind of give you as information. Gaming is way bigger than the entertainment business in the traditional sense. So if you take the movie business and you take TV series and you take live sports, yeah, you'll get a very big bucket. But if you take out live sports and you take out all the TV series, box office wise, is smaller than esports. So the whole movie business is smaller than the gaming business. And we're going to talk about soon esports finals and games that were conducted and how many people watched them live. I'm going to get to all of that, I promise. But just take into account, this is a very big industry right now, and it's going to get way bigger with time. And I'm also going to explain how that happens. So just continue with me. Problems. So, out-of-dated site designs not catered to 18 to 50 audience. Odds are way out of the norms of sports betting standards, and esports is still an afterthought to all the major betting sites. Everything here is true in my opinion, so moving on. Okay. So, go Gawi, and let's jump into that site. And let's just watch this really quick.
GoGawi.com offers our players esports and traditional sports markets with more wagering categories to be offered soon, including casino and live casino games. Here on the esports page, players can watch any of the events that are currently live, check current odds markets, and place bets on live and upcoming games. We provide our players wagering markets for official esports tournaments and leagues for the following game titles: Counter-Strike Global Operations, League of Legends, Dota 2, Call of Duty, StarCraft 2, Rocket League, FIFA, and NBA 2K. More markets and matches are being added every day. Players on GoGoWe.com would place a wager on a team to win a live match by clicking on the odds button for their team of choice. The wager with the current odds is then loaded into the bet slip. The player would enter their stake, and they are now ready to cheer on their team to win. Players also have the option to make an accumulator or system bet for multiple selections. In the US, accumulator or combo bets are commonly called parlays. Our players can see all the live esports and sports games being played right now on the in-play page. By clicking on the Twitch stream, they can view the game live and follow their bet. Additional odds markets for this match are available in its individual live view screen. If a player would want to watch more than one game at a time, they can do this by using the multi-view feature. With a simple drag and drop from available live games scores list, GoGoWe can simulcast up to 4 streams and all live scoreboards right onto the live view page. On the account page, this is where our players check account information, make a deposit or withdrawal, and...
Okay, so I think we got the gist of it. Really simple, intuitive user interface. You can watch a couple of games in the same time, and you can basically do all your esports betting from this one platform. So really happy to see that they built here a robust, cool product. I also see a mobile app, so I'm excited about this. I really am. Moving on. Solutions. Let's see. Leadership, experience, product, partnership, passion. Okay. Nothing too crazy to see here. Real-time exchange and API-supported sports booking betting platform. So this is very interesting. The company can basically become a platform which allows a lot of other companies to build betting markets, and they're just going to provide an API. So one of the things that I love is when a company not only builds a product, they build a platform. Because usually there's a lot of scale you can do through the platform. Imagine bwin or any kind of huge sports organization that has a lot of traffic. And they decide that they're going to take the League of Legends final and going to put them featured on their main screen on a night where there's no big sports game, nothing in the NBA, nothing in the MLB, nothing in the UEFA Champions League, nothing in the Premier League. Just going to put big on the screen League of Legends finals, and they're going to want to have all the information and all the setup to do this properly without having to dive in and to figure out this world as outsiders. And they can just create a connection and run on Esports Technologies to make a market for all the people who want to bet. So that is one just kind of application that comes from the top of my head on the opportunity here. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, so this is the end of the presentation. Just gonna want to go now across the news feed and just go with you on all the latest news. And we actually have something from 2 days ago. So this is being filmed on June 4th. So on June 2nd, they appointed veteran Mark Torn as the chief marketing officer. And it's important when you research a stock to see a bit of the latest news. And you can see that Torn brings nearly 20 years of industry experience to the executive team, having served in leadership roles with Betfair, BetFirst, Bonnier Gaming, and Twin.com. So I'll assume that they're making good hires. And let's see. Okay, Esports Technologies shares rise 10% on app inclusion to the Apple Store. So, cool. I didn't know that the company was not on the Apple Store. So that is very interesting. The online gaming company said officially launched after a week. Promised tournament prediction trivia games for esports fans is now both on Google Play and Apple App Stores in the US, UK, and Canada. Who knows how much traction that's going to bring. Sometimes you want to watch something, make a bet, and you're not home, you're not on your computer. So apps are important. Okay, what else do we have here? This is something from PR Newswire. Probably they dropped it in. PR Newswire, remember it's not an editorial, but I wonder who dropped this. This is by financialnewsmedia.com. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. It's a whole article about how the world of regular sports and the world of esports is kind of mixing. And there's a bunch of information here about celebrities and their connection. And let's see, yeah, they're talking about here Tony Robbins, Jennifer Lopez, Ashton Kutcher, Drake. So you have a bunch of names here. And what else? So they're talking about the company and the esports kind of betting environment. Yeah, so nothing too crazy here, but yeah, I think esports put this in PR Newswire. Let's see what else do we have here. So they added Rocket League to its international betting platform recently. And what else? Esports adds former University of Miami basketball star NBA draft pick Jack McClinton as strategic advisor. Okay, not sure about that. Okay, let's continue researching. Right now, let's look at the trader's cheat sheet. Stock has not been around for a long time, but it has a lot of support between 18 and 20, and it has a lot of resistance on the way up. So I think this stock is going to stay here for the time being. And I want to talk to you about the statistics of the world of esports a bit. So esports, just I'm gonna type into Google something that will kind of blow your mind. I'm gonna blow your mind with the following. How many people watch esports final? And by 2020, Activate suggests that 70 million people will watch a single esports final, which is higher than the viewership for US professional baseball, soccer, and hockey finals. That means that an esports final will have more people watching it than a MLB final, an MLS final, or an NHL final. By that time, consumers will watch 3 billion hours of esports, which account for 10% of all sports viewing. Do you understand the size of this market? Do you understand that we are in the first inning, or maybe, you know what, third inning, and we have 6 more innings to go? I think we're in the first inning of the worldwide market. I think we're in the third inning maybe in the US market. And this has a lot of room for growth. And if there's one thing we know is that people's need or passion to bet, to play the game in a way that you're not necessarily playing the game, people's passion is there. Let's look at DraftKings, for example. Okay? DraftKings stock, for me, is a great example of, 22% in the past year. People want to be betting. So if DraftKings is the king of sports betting, I think Esports Technologies is going to be the king of esports betting. And DraftKings is currently a $20 billion company. I can see Esports Technologies being, 5% of that. 5% of that size. And to be 5% of that size will mean that, let's put that into context. This is a company under $300 million. To be 5% of 20 billion, all you have to be is a $1 billion company. So, if they can deliver, if the industry grows, if gaming is going to keep with the same traction, we're talking about a company that can reach $1 billion, and let's say they do it in, 7 years. Let's say they do it in 9 years. Okay, so 9 years to triple in their valuation, even more than triple. So I can say pretty confidently that this is a huge bet, pun intended, but it's possible. This company is so new. It was founded last year. And I'm kind of shocked that just now somebody decided to build a company like this. I really think that this was something that was supposed to be 3-4 years ago. Esports has been big overseas for a long time, in Korea, and I don't know if there's a huge betting culture in Korea, but it would make sense that if Esports Technologies keeps growing, they're going to have a lot of international activity. It's not going to be just US activity. Okay, so moving on, we read the news, we read the investor relations prospectus, and we looked at the stock. We know the company is not earning a lot, but let's try to understand how much they are earning. So let's move to the earnings screen and to the kind of, let's see, fundamentals. So we can see here the total revenue the company is generating. So 2020 total revenue was around $200,000. And you're probably asking yourself, well, how can a company be valued like that? Like, price to book is X75. There's no price to sales. There's no price to earnings. There's no price to cash flow. This company is a huge bet. It's a totally speculative gamble on what this can be years from now. There's no peer comparison here. There's no really analyst report to give you. There is basically nothing. Now, some of you can argue that, look, their price range was pretty accurate. They're worth a quarter of what they're currently trading for. And you know what? I'm not arguing with that. They might be worth a quarter of what they're trading at right now. But here's the thing. The market is a forward-looking mechanism, and I believe that this company is a 20-year story from now. That esports will be something that eventually a final won't have 70 million people watching. It will have 400 or 500 million people watching. Imagine a Fortnite final, and each one of your, if you have 7 or 9 or 12-year-olds at home, or 5-year-olds, each one of your kids will be tuning into that instead of the Soccer World Cup. They're going to be tuning into these tournaments instead of the Olympics. And imagine everybody watching and sponsor money just, dropping on these esports professionals from every corner. Huge teams, national teams, everything you can imagine. And I think that if we even reach 10% of what I'm describing, and there's a betting culture that develops around this, then this company can easily be worth just, a solid $1.5 billion, $2 billion, 15 years from now. I think most of the growth is going to come in the next 9 years in terms of the stock price and the story, just because these guys are early to the game. And while other companies might show that they have sports betting on their site, they're going to connect to their API. They're not going to be in the position or excited to build everything from scratch. They're going to connect to the API of this company. All the big bettors are going to be using the pipes of Esports Technologies Inc. Very important before I start wrapping up. This is not investment advice. I am not a financial advisor. And last but not least, I'm not recommending you to buy the stock. I am buying the stock, and I have bought more than once on the dips. I will continue adding to it on the dips, because I feel that this is the kind of industry that will creep out of nowhere, and once it will be big, it will be too late. It will be priced always 5 to 10 years ahead of its time, because there is so much of a total addressable market here. And you know what? They might not be currently in the position to tackle it all. They might be bought out by a bigger betting company. That's also a possibility. And in the end of the day, the amount they offered in the IPO was so low. It was just 1.4 million for 240,000 shares. They can give out more shares, bring more investors in. More investors means that there's going to be more people with interest to talk about this. It's kind of like a snowball effect, and we're just in the beginning. So thank you for watching this episode of Researching Stocks about Esports Technologies Inc., ticker symbol EBET. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, don't forget to hit that like button, hit it hard for the algorithm. And if you think that somebody should see this, don't forget to hit that share button. And last but not least, if you are new to the channel and you like this kind of content about the world of finance, stocks, cryptocurrencies, just to get more knowledge about anything in these categories, hit that subscribe button so we can meet again in a different video. There's all kinds of content on the channel, and this was another episode of Researching Stocks. Thanks for watching. See you next time.